Jeremy Corbyn, when you were first elected in 2015, you said that you would be travelling to Scotland at least once a month to make the case for Scotland in Labour. That doesn't seem to have happened.
I've been in Scotland a lot of times, and I'm in Scotland again next Friday.
Yet the party does not seem to be showing any increase. You're down to about 10% in the opinion polls. What do you need to do to turn that round?
I think discuss the economy issues facing the whole of the UK, the need for an investment strategy and a national investment bank that can support new and expanding industries and improved infrastructure across the whole of the UK, and deal with issues of UK-wide inequality. And I've been trying to address those issues in some of the activities we've been doing this week, and of course the NHS crisis, which affects the whole of the UK because of the funding issues, and we'll be addressing many of those issues, as well as of course the development of our party and its party activities.
Do you agree with Kezia Dugdale, the leader in Scotland, that actually it is now time for a new Act of Union?
I want us to look at the constitutional relationships. I wouldn't use the words new Act of Union. What we'll be doing is looking at a new constitutional convention for the whole of the UK, because there are issues of lack of democracy in parts of our political structure, such as the unelected upper chamber, the House of Lords. There is a huge issue about regional government across England, and there is a need to have a discussion about the relative powers in Scotland, in Wales and in Northern Ireland of devolved assemblies.
While we are dealing with constitutional matters, what is your view about a second independence referendum for Scotland?
I wouldn't ask for one, although quite clearly if the Scottish Parliament wanted to have one, the agreement has been that a second one could be held. But I think it's much more important that we address the economic issues facing the whole of the UK, and of course the negotiations with the European Union about what form of economic relationship we have with Europe in the future, because more than half of UK trade is with Europe, and that's going to have to continue in some form or the other. Obviously, the best market access possible is important. There also has to be EU-wide or European-wide agreements on environment and sea-related issues such as fishing and pollution.
So for the do you think Nicola Sturgeon should or should not call a second independence referendum?
I don't see the need for one. I'm not asking for one. I don't think she should call one.
You mentioned various policies in the Brexit negotiations. As part of the Brexit negotiations, do you think there is any validity in countries like Scotland having their own immigration policies? Because what Scotland needs is probably different to what other areas of the UK need.
I think it would be very difficult to have regional economic development which is so independent of the rest of the country. Just as much it would be very difficult to have regional immigration policies, because if you have regional immigration policies, then presumably you're going to have regional borders. If you did that in England, I've heard the argument in England as well, and in the case of Scotland, I would say exactly the same. It has to be a UK-wide decision. Clearly, Scotland, like other parts of the UK, does benefit from EU workers that come there, does benefit from their skills, and indeed people from Scotland do go, live and work in other parts of Europe and come and go quite frequently. That is actually a good thing.
If you ever want to be Prime Minister, you either have to have a major Labour recovery in Scotland or perhaps have the support of parties like the SNP. Could you see yourself working with the SNP?
We're working to get Labour MPs and Labour councillors elected. That's what we're doing, and that's what we do all the time. And we'll be doing that, of course, all through this coming year. In Parliament, when we're opposing what the Tories are doing, where other parties come on side with us, then we work with them on those issue by issue. So this week, for example, the SNP did support our NHS motion, and I'm grateful to them for that.
Jeremy Corbyn, thank you very much.